Ah, Greenland, the world's largest island, a place of breathtaking, icy beauty, or well, it mostly icy. Think majestic glaciers, vast ice sheets, and the kind of silence that makes you hear your own thoughts. It's been on the bucket list for adventurous travelers for ages. They come for the pristine landscapes, the unique Inuit culture, and the chance to say, I've been to Greenland, but here's a fun new travel update for you. Greenland is getting warmer. Yes, you heard that right. The land of eternal ice is developing a bit of a fever. What's causing this tropical makeover, you ask? Oh, just a little thing called climate change. So, the travel appeal is changing. It's less frozen and more water world, but with fewer jet skis. The unique beauty is still there, mind you. For a bit longer anyway. Imagine vast expanses of white shimmering under the Arctic sun. Giant icebergs, sculpted by nature into fantastical shapes, floating serenely in sapphire blue waters. It's truly a photographer's dream, a painter's inspiration. But now, there's an added element of drama, a sort of see-it-before-it's-gone vibe. The silence is now punctuated by the rather alarming sound of massive chunks of ice crashing into the sea. So, if you're planning a trip, maybe pack a snorkel. Greenland is still stunning, a land of stark contrasts and raw, untamed wilderness. Just try not to get your feet wet. Let's talk about the ice, shall we? Because that's kind of Greenland's main selling point. Or it was. The Greenland ice sheet is enormous. Properly massive. We're talking about nearly 1.7 million square kilometers of ice. And it's thick too, averaging over 2 kilometers. For centuries, this colossal ice cap has been a fairly stable feature of our planet. But oh, how times have changed. Now this icy behemoth is on a bit of a diet, a rather aggressive, unwanted liquid diet. Scientists tell us it's melting at an alarming rate, not just a little bit around the edges like an ice lolly on a warm day. We're talking billions, yes, billions with a B of tons of ice disappearing every year. The glaciers, which are like rivers of ice, are flowing faster, retreating further, and generally behaving like they're late for a very important, very wet appointment with the Atlantic Ocean. It's a spectacular, if somewhat terrifying sight to behold. So what's causing this grand icy disappearing act? Is it a flock of particularly warm-blooded dragons taking up residence? Has the sun decided to get a bit closer for a friendly chat? Not quite. The culprit, drumroll please, is us. Yes, humanity. We've managed to turn up the planet's thermostat with our rather enthusiastic burning of fossil fuels. Coal, oil, gas, we just can't get enough of that stuff. It's like we're having a global barbecue, and we've thrown all the logs on the fire at once. And Greenland is feeling the heat, quite literally. Our cars, our factories, our insatiable desire for electricity to power our cat video streaming, it all pumps greenhouse gases into the atmosphere. These gases, like carbon dioxide and methane, act like a cozy blanket around the Earth. A bit too cozy as it turns out. This blanket traps heat, warming up the planet. The Arctic, where Greenland resides, is warming up much faster than the rest of the planet. It's like the Earth's air conditioning unit, and we've just set it to tropical heat wave mode. The consequences? Well, apart from Greenland slowly turning into a giant slushy, there are a few. Now let's talk about where all that melted Greenlandic ice is going. Spoiler alert, it's not magically disappearing into another dimension, it's flowing directly into the world's oceans. And when you add a colossal amount of water to an already full bathtub, what happens? That's right, it overflows. Or in the case of our oceans, the water level rises. This isn't a tiny, imperceptible rise we're talking about either. Greenland's melt is a major contributor to global sea level rise. Think of all those lovely coastal cities around the world. London, New York, Miami, Shanghai, Hull. They're all looking a bit more waterfront in the future. And not in a charming, let's build some more canals kind of way, more like a where did the beach go and why is there a fish in my living room kind of way. This isn't some distant, hypothetical problem for our great-great-grandchildren to worry about. It's happening now. We're already seeing the effects: more frequent coastal flooding, more severe storm surges, and a gradual, relentless creep of the tide line. Life for the inhabitants of Greenland, primarily the Inuit, has always been intrinsically linked to the ice and snow. Their culture, traditions, and survival strategies have been shaped by the Arctic environment for thousands of years. They are masters of adaptation, a people who have thrived in one of the harshest climates on Earth. Hunting seals on the sea ice, fishing in icy fjords, traveling by dog sled across vast frozen landscapes. These aren't just quaint historical activities, they are or were fundamental aspects of their existence and identity. But what happens when that very environment starts to change at an unprecedented pace? The ice, their reliable platform and hunting ground, is becoming thinner, less predictable, and arriving later in the year. This makes traditional hunting far more dangerous and less productive. For the Inuit, it's a direct threat to their food security and their cultural heritage. The knowledge passed down through generations about ice conditions is becoming less reliable as the climate goes haywire. The thawing permafrost is another delightful addition to their daily challenges. Infrastructure like roads, airport runways, and buildings are literally sinking or cracking as the ground beneath them softens. Despite, or perhaps because of, all this dramatic melting, Greenland is still a hot ticket for a certain type of tourist. The last chance to see Brigade is out in full force. Come witness the majestic glaciers before they become mere puddles. Take a selfie with an iceberg before it's just a fond memory. It's a new kind of disaster tourism really, but with prettier scenery. You can go kayaking amongst colossal icebergs, their blue and white forms towering over you. Just, try not to get too close when a building-sized chunk decides to calve off. It makes for a rather splashy experience. Hiking is also popular, offering stunning views of fjords and, increasingly, of landscapes recently uncovered by retreating ice. You can literally walk on land that was buried under ice for centuries, maybe even millennia. It's like being an explorer discovering new territory, except the territory is being revealed because we're accidentally terraforming the planet. There are also opportunities to witness the incredible northern lights, assuming the sky isn't too cloudy from all the extra moisture in the atmosphere. And of course, there's wildlife viewing polar bears, if you can find them on the diminishing ice, whales, seals, and musk oxen. The local culture is a huge draw too. You can visit small, colorful settlements, learn about Inuit traditions, and perhaps even try some local delicacies. Though be warned, local delicacies might include things like fermented seal, which is certainly an acquired taste. It's a chance to connect with a way of life that is profoundly different and deeply connected to the natural world. So you've decided to brave the newly temperate paradise of Greenland. Good on you. But what to pack for this unique, rapidly evolving destination? Well, your traditional Arctic expedition gear might need a few adjustments. Firstly, those heavy-duty thermal long johns? Maybe pack a lighter pair, or perhaps some fashionable thermal shorts. You never know when a sudden heat wave might strike the ice cap, and while you're at it, throw in some sun cream. Yes, sun cream. The Arctic sun can be surprisingly strong, especially when reflecting off all that remaining ice and increasingly off the water. Next on the list, waterproof everything. And I mean everything. Waterproof trousers, waterproof jacket, waterproof socks, waterproof hat, maybe even waterproof underwear if you can find it. With all that melting ice, things are bound to get a bit damp. A sturdy pair of wellies, or rubber boots as our American friends call them, would not go amiss. You might find yourself wading through more meltwater streams than you anticipated. Think of it as an impromptu water park experience, just without the slides and the screaming children. Now some people, bless their optimistic hearts, are trying to find the upsides to Greenland's great thaw. It's like finding a fiver in the pocket of your trousers as your house is burning down. But hey, let's explore these so-called silver linings, shall we? Firstly, shipping. With less Arctic sea ice, those lovely, long-dreamed-of shipping routes like the Northwest Passage are becoming more accessible. This could shave days, even weeks, off journey times between Asia, Europe, and North America. Think of all the money saved on fuel, which we can then use to, well, probably buy more things that contribute to melting the ice. It's the circle of life. Then there's fishing. As the waters around Greenland warm up, new fish species are migrating north. Cod, mackerel, and others are appearing in areas where they were previously scarce. This could mean new opportunities for Greenland's fishing industry, which is a cornerstone of its economy. So more fish for everyone. Alright, jokes aside, or at least slightly to the side, this whole Greenland melting situation is pretty serious. It's not just a quirky travel destination with rapidly changing scenery, it's a giant flashing warning light on the dashboard of planet Earth. And that light is telling us we're heading for a bit of a prang if we don't change course. The science is clear. Our actions are warming the planet, the ice is melting, sea levels are rising, and ecosystems are under immense stress. This isn't a debate anymore, it's a reality unfolding before our very eyes, from the Arctic to the tropics. So, What can we, the ordinary, everyday people who enjoy cat videos and occasionally remember to recycle, actually do about it? It can feel overwhelming, like trying to stop a runaway train with a feather duster. But despair is not a strategy. Firstly, we need to get informed and stay informed. Understand the scale of the problem, but also understand the solutions that exist. Knowledge is power, as they say. And right now, we need all the power we can get to turn this ship around. Or in this case, to stop the ice from turning into a ship-sinking amount of water. Then, we need to make some changes in our own lives. Yes, individual actions matter,